Let us now introduce contestant number 6, Ms. Celeste Chan. Please come on to the stage.
The title of her speech is Insight. So Ms. Chan, you have 3 minutes, and you may begin now.
Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Have you ever seen the Japanese movie Departure? It is about a cellist who later became a funeral master. What inspired me in the movie was that the funeral master treated the dead with great reverence, according to beautiful funeral etiquette. So on the day after the tsunami, when I found out that there was no disorder in Japan, people lined up uniformly for food and water. They sat patiently on the stairs of the TGV station. There was no looting, no fighting, no rivalry. I believed that I knew the answer. So how and why are the people of Japan able to do this? The movie has given me an insight. By learning the importance of rituals and rites through education at a young age, the Japanese have developed the ability to maintain their composure even in times of chaos. Their perseverance and endurance are something that cannot be achieved in a day. Instead, it is imprinted in their hearts. The influence of mannerism and etiquette is the insight behind the story. Ironically, these rituals actually originated from ancient China. They are, in fact, the most prized heritage of Chinese culture. But it is the Japanese who magnified its existence and beauty and put it in use. So may I ask, why has this become a lost wisdom? Looking back in Hong Kong, our civility is eroding. Our legislators threw bananas and water bottles at our government officials. The bus uncle talked so loudly on the bus and shouted shamelessly to a young man who simply asked him to lower his voice. Ladies and gentlemen, we must build the culture of our city brick by brick, stone by stone. And the key to doing this lies in ritual education. Through mannerism, respect and trust one another. Through etiquette, we learn to sacrifice ourselves for the greater good of others. I believe that Hong Kong can become the diamond of the Orient, not only in terms of its nutshell, but also its inner quality. If we can use today as a starting point for revitalizing a great culture of rituals and etiquette. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Chan. Mr. Seaton will now ask you a question related to your speech.
Thank you very much for that presentation. A rather different question. You spoke about the reaction. Some very interesting observations about lessons for that for Hong Kong. But if you look also at the nuclear aspects of the disaster, you've had some people in Hong Kong say that Hong Kong's got to rethink its reliance on nuclear energy. We need to rethink about the positioning of the Daya Bay nuclear power station. Are there lessons there for Hong Kong, or are people overreacting to what was a very specific event?
Thank you for your question. Well, I think through the tsunami, we learned that the Japanese reaction is, from my speech, as I stated, is accumulated from their knowledge of rituals and rites. And I think that nuclear power and the reactor is another form of this disaster. And from today, I want to bring out that if we have ritual education, if we learn the etiquette and mannerism, we will be able to respond to all these disasters in an orderly fashion with trust and respect in the society. Thank you.
Thank you. Second question from Ms. Astis.
With increasing globalization, international education is becoming more and more important. Do you think that it's essential for students to study abroad in another country? And if so, where would you go and why?
Thank you for your question. Well, I think that globalization is definitely a good thing. And then for local students and for overseas students, it is a win-win situation. And for me, I would want to go to England, and presumably, if I can get into Cambridge, I would definitely want to go there. Mainly because of the beautiful scenery and because the people in Cambridge, the way they welcome you, I have been to Cambridge, and my aim is to go to Cambridge because I think that it is a great school, and then the scenery can help you with your studies. And I think that globalization is a very good thing for all the people, for local students and also overseas students. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Chan. You may now take a seat.